Who's really behind Steeljaw's failure? Hi! In Transformers Robots in Disguise 2015, there is a character called Steeljaw. Steeljaw is a villain who...
All I wanted was a place for Decepticons to call their own! A place I could rule!
Question is, why does he keep failing? A quick review. When we first meet Steeljaw, it's in the 3rd episode. He shows himself to be a con man, a brilliant subsonics engineer, and a rebellion instigator.
I'm well aware of your reputation. Jailed for instigating rebellion, knowledge of subsonics, but...
Subsonics, precisely. Your security system can easily be rewired to emit sonic pulses that don't affect bots outfitted with the special chips I cobbled together for my friends and me, but aren't nearly as kind to standard Auto and Dinobots, as B and his team will soon discover.
He has no trouble trying to kill bots and people with things he's built or stolen. He is a close combat fighter who resorts to tail swings, clawing, and tricks, but he can be fairly easy to take down. He's strong enough to throw a bot 40 feet. He's also an escape artist and causes havoc to either slow his pursuers or kill them. He's highly aggressive, but can play charming if he thinks it'll make people listen. When lying and charm fail, he resorts to bullying, sometimes even resorting to it when it hasn't failed yet.
Fix-It never said anything about a guard being on the Alchemore.
Fix it, yes. Well, he wouldn't have known. I was in stasis also. My pod programmed to wake me in case of a riot.
Then why would you have a Decepticon logo?
You're very well trained, asking excellent questions. The logo is meant to confuse the other.
This is Strongarm. I'm under attack. My location is...
As he's a subsonics engineer, he knows how to build things and has a habit of taking note of every noise around him. This is where his intellect is at its strongest, but even he partly fails at that.
Get out. Go.
He calls himself a leader after starting one rebellion, which didn't last long. His flaws are impatience, micromanaging, jumping to conclusions, a bloated ego, and difficulty adapting. Plus, he's a terrible liar because he wears his motives on his sleeve. Steeljaw can be very easily tricked with cons that are much simpler than what he pulls off.
Greetings, brother. I'm Steeljaw. And you are?
Oh, I'm Grimby.
I'm glad you are free, Grimby. Step into the light and join me.
What happened to your mark there, Steeljaw? Brother?
I destroyed it, and its tracking mechanism. The Autobots mustn't capture me before I can prove to them that I have reformed and want to live here now, peacefully. As I'm sure you do too.
He literally gives away all of his cards in the first episode, except his engineering card, which he shows off a few weeks later, still in the first season. His plan begins to fall apart in episode 6. To understand this, we have to know his team. His first recruit.
Yo!
Thunderhoof has shown himself to be highly intelligent in multiple directions, a combat expert and insanely strong. He is both a close combat and long-distance fighter. He is not easily taken down and is armed from the hooves up. Unlike Steeljaw, Thunderhoof is not as easily conned, proven by the fact that he can spot a liar half a mile away.
You mess with the boss, you get the hoof!
Thunderhoof, wait!
Huh?
Bumblebee's not worth it.
What?
I'm sick of that bot telling me what to do, then telling me everything I do is wrong. I want off this bot-forsaken planet.
What? Oh, finally someone with a little intelligence. Come on, kid, let's do the Autobot stomp.
Seriously, don't waste your time. He can't stop you. Just leave B here to rot on this mud ball with no way home.
Would serve him right. Okay, let's go.
Wait, Thunderhoof, we should check the connections in this space bridge before we...
Hey, you're a smart kid, but don't tell me my business. I got an empire to get home to.
But...
Why don't you test it out for me, kid?
Wait!
You thought you could scam me by pretending to switch sides, Autobot? How did that work out for you?
Despite his anger issues, he's still willing to calm down and listen if it's an option. As he is a crime boss, he knows how to get things done, but his past as a lackey makes him somewhat compliant when bullied.
Hey, just 'cause Steeljaw, the great rebel, sold out don't mean I got it. I'm getting off this mudball once and for all.
I am no one's lackey, brother. My interests simply overlap with our benefactors. I will not let anyone jeopardize my mission, least of all you, Thunderhoof. Capiche?
Well, I guess I can lend a hand.
He tends to hold his cards close to his chest, only using them in emergencies.
I'm a businessman, Lieutenant. I just want the bounty.
The second most impressive of the team is Fracture, a literal bounty hunter stuck there because of Drift's minicons. He can sneak into places and kill anyone he pleases. He is a master swordsman and often plays dirty. He has minicons of his own who set up traps and stuff. He is the third smartest of the team.
Humans, so easily fooled by holofields and a little research.
Huzzah! Onward to victory, to history, to freedom! Ka-ka!
Quillfire, who joins late into the series, is armed with poison quills that he can launch at attackers. He's not the best fighter and has no idea what each quill does. He's also not the brightest and suffers tunnel vision, but even he recognizes a good leader.
Those auto-despots discovered the tunnel before we could finish it! And they've jailed Clampdown!
Bet you the first thing that C-Rat does is spill his slimy guts.
Likely. And without the tunnel, we'll need a quick plan B.
Underbite. Heard of me?
Underbite is a brawler who gets strength from eating metal, it having a steroid effect on him. His intellect is nothing to brag about, and he has a short fuse when mocked.
My old stasis pod. Should give me a little boost. Feeling the burn! Hey! Aren't you Underbite? The con who ate that city? Finally! What gave me away? The muscles? The smell? How's that smell, you little? Where'd it go?
Stay away! I ain't going back to the big house! No way!
And Clampdown. He is the most disposable member.
How do we know he won't turn on us the first time things get tricky?
Clampdown realizes that after all we've done for him, if he sided against us, I wouldn't rest until I've made him eat his own claws.
But also the most loyal to Steeljaw. His fighting skills are almost zero and he's a coward. All he's good for is hard labor.
Keep working, and tell me immediately when you hit pay dirt.
Oh, fine with me! I'd rather think than get punched!
Now that that's covered, Steeljaw doesn't have the patience or humility to use anyone properly. He cares more for Brawn and the fact that he has two people on his team who have brains, but he prefers to use their muscle, thinking he's the only one who needs to come up with a plan. Fracture is the third smartest guy on the team. As he's a bounty hunter, he knows how to anticipate his prey, which is mainly other bots. He would be best used for reconnaissance and assassination, but Steeljaw uses him for that only once, using him as a heavy hitter more often than not despite his small frame. He's a tiny guy.
He's squatty.
He's a scrawny guy. The actual heavy hitters on the team are Underbite, Thunderhoof, and Steeljaw himself. His plan was to make Earth his new kingdom, but he doesn't know how to make that happen, whereas Thunderhoof does. What he does do is con those in higher power, then takes their position.
You summoned us, Steeljaw?
We do not respond well to being summoned, good fellow. And it appears you're no closer to getting those Decepticon hunters.
Ah, but appearances can be deceiving.
Steeljaw, you did it!
Well done, chap. With those, we shan't have to worry about rebellion in our ranks ever again. Here now, hand them over.
Every time he does, something unexpected happens and he fails. Or he becomes stagnant. Thunderhoof is smart enough to know this. That's why he tries to leave multiple times. People keep saying he's going like, I'm gonna go Starscream on you, but Starscream's plan was to stab Megatron in the back every once in a while. Or just take over when Megatron was incapacitated. Thunderhoof is just like, nope, I'm gonna wander off and do my own thing. He understands that if Thunderhoof leaves, the useful cons go with him, so he turns to bullying to make him stay. He even manipulates Thunderhoof's natural leadership abilities to gain more followers.
All work? Why would I work with you again, Steeljaw? You and that first Decepticon got most of us tossed back into stasis in the first place!
And now I've freed you. And while you slept, I have allied with many Decepticons who will help make our dreams a reality. I don't blame you for not trusting me, Thunderhoof, but see for yourself. Go to these coordinates. If you do not like what you find, enjoy my gift of your freedom.
If you're messing with us again...
You have my word. Go. I shall rejoin you shortly. They are so easily led. Or is it misled?
Ew. My crew and I combed the whole joint. No sign of them toasters.
Excuse me. Your crew?
No need to get gruff, fellas. We're all in this together. What was I thinking? Gruff away!
This whole thing's a waste of time. Who cares about those auto bums?
I do. I want Bumblebee's hood ornament on a plate. And so do our benefactors back on Cybertron. They want Bumblebee and his team. That is why they freed us and offered us full pardons. Thunderhoof.
This is ridiculous. How come we're always waiting around for him?
'Cause he's the boss, and the boss calls the shots. Everybody knows that.
Well, then maybe it's time somebody else became the boss around here.
If you think you're qualified, Thunderhoof, then take your best shot. Otherwise, be silent and listen.
Because of Steeljaw's bloated ego, he doesn't explain anything or ask questions when it's important. He believes that all his plans have no flaws and that anyone who says otherwise is trying to undermine him, making him unreasonable when it fails. As he can barely keep his entire team in line proves how bad a leader he is.
You better believe I'm gonna stomp you into scrap.
That is enough. The past is the past. Clampdown could be of great use to us. End of discussion. Now, let's consider how...
Even if he did become King of Earth, it'd be a short reign as all his followers would quickly desert him or stage a coup. Had Steeljaw let Thunderhoof build his criminal empire, he would have only needed to wait a few months at least, as Thunderhoof would have gotten the humans on his side. All he would have needed to do then would have been to hide the cons from the Autobots until it was safe. But he doesn't think that far ahead, and that's where his biggest problem lies. After some time, Steeljaw starts getting obsessed with trying to kill Bumblebee to get him out of the way. He believes he's the only one believes he's the one ruining his plans. Thing is, Team B is busy trying to arrest a whole mess of cons and don't go after him unless Steeljaw actually does something. It only took him a few hours to get found because he wanted to make speeches before freeing his cons in arms. They couldn't hear him through the pod, so he just looked like an idiot. He even knew Autobots were there at the beginning of the episode. It merely proves his stupidity when he went looking for the pods instead of following the Autobots to their base, since he could track them by smell alone. Had he followed, he would have let the Autobots bring in the pods and he would have freed them under the cover of night, as an easy feat as they had no security at the time. Unlike Thunderhoof, who went completely unnoticed long enough to build a space bridge. Bumblebee wouldn't have known Thunderhoof was on Earth if it wasn't for the parts list, it being a true coincidence.
We have already found many things, but the Caspigo still demands 15 pounds of soldering lead, 441 2-inch nails, 37 yards of steel cable, and 1 high-voltage electrical generator.
Okay, just stay here and we'll see what we can find for you.
14 relay switches. Russell, don't give them the generator. I'll explain later. That list from the Caspigo. Those items may have seemed random, but they weren't. I suspect the Caspigo is one of our Decepticons tricking humans into thinking it's your creature of legend, using them to help jury-rig a space bridge.
Steeljaw treats B as an obstacle he has to destroy instead of going around. His team finds the Autobots more as entertainment or annoyances.
Bada boom! Lumbering oaf! They should be lying helpless at our feet, not sent to the Earth's core!
What's the difference?
I wanted to rip Bumblebee's spark from his chassis with my own claws!
Then go after him! What's left of that auto bum is all yours!
Steeljaw can't stay under the radar to save his skin, even when he changes his colors.
Follow my lead.
Looks like them in camo mode.
And that brings us to our last point. Even with help from outside forces like Soundwave or the fake leaders of Cybertron, he still loses. Sure, the Autobots take them down, but it's because he leaves them openings to take advantage of. He doesn't assign anyone to watch duty, backup planner, or talk it out with his team. Sometimes he lets Thunderhoof come up with the plan, but only when he's desperate. Plus, in the beginning, he didn't have enough respect to get people moving when a small problem arose. He had to resort to yelling.
Incompetence. Get away from me. Ha! Get out!
During Decepticon Island, he gained a little more respect, but he had to ride Thunderhoof's coattails to get it, even undermining him when he tries to take charge, giving the current leaders of Decepticon Island the impression that he's leadership material.
We've been keeping an eye on you, Steeljaw. Your activities have not gone unnoticed.
Is that so?
You've been very busy around here, my friend.
But he was prepared to kill them when he thought they were about to figure him out.
Very busy indeed.
Which is why we'd like you to become part of our leadership team. In a support role, of course.
Leadership team? Me?
You don't have to answer yet. I'm sure it's a little overwhelming.
Yes, quite a surprise.
So to sum it up, Steeljaw sabotages his own plans. Even at the end of the show, this is what he does. He comes back to Earth and tries his plan again, and because he doesn't change, he is heard howling in the distance, sabotaging any chance of getting away scot-free.
Steeljaw? Saved by the howl. Autobots, let's rev up and roll out.
He's his own monkey wrench. The writers just want it really easy for B's team to beat the bad guys, and the easiest way for them to do that is to make the main bad guy kind of dumb. Which can work if they took it less seriously. But they didn't, and that's what we got. Bye!
Bye! Look at pretty butterfly. Look at them. And away we go.